Let me welcome you to my channel. Before we begin the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this post. Among the many WWE superstars making waves in the current Bloodline saga, Jacob Fatu is standing out. The Samoan werewolf has been a fan favorite since his debut, because to his unmatched domination in the ring and elimination of almost every opponent he has faced. The Bloodline currently has Fatu affiliated with Solo Sikoa. The Wwe will be at risk in a high-stakes tribal combat match between the self-proclaimed tribal chief and Roman Reigns on RAW's Netflix launch. Within the context of the Bloodline plot, the Holy Necklace represents the Samoan dynasty's supreme power. It seems that Solo and Jacob Fatu have been having some little disagreements over the last several months. So, if Sikoa doesn't win the Wwe, the Samoan werewolf may take advantage of the situation to depose him as faction leader and force him and the Tongans to start over in the stable. Zilla Fatu and the recently introduced Hikuleo might join this reorganized group to take Tama Tonga's and Tonga Loa's places. Keep in mind that Zilla is said to be joining the Stanford-based organization shortly after Hikuleo, and that WWE has supposedly signed Hikuleo as well. In addition to introducing these new Bloodline members to the world, aligning with 32-year-old star Jacob Fatu in a faction will boost Fatu's prominence. This might be the Samoan werewolf's way of showing that he is prepared to take over as tribal chief and implement his plans for the Bloodline in WWE, given his confidence in his strength compared to Solo Sikoa. Additionally, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga made their debut under Solo Sikoa's leadership prior to Jacob Fatu's entrance. Thus, they may still have loyalty for their tribal chief. Because of this, Fatu may feel pressured to replace them as well as Solo. It is possible that Roman may challenge the OTC to a fight for the Holy Necklace if he were to win the Wwe. In the eyes of the WWE Universe, the Samoan werewolf is quickly becoming a fan favorite. But Triple H has to make sure the business doesn't make the same error in 2025 and deny Jacob the chance to win a title. The Stamford, Connecticut-based corporation has to put more emphasis on the 32-year-old star's career honors if they want him to be a future main eventer at WrestleMania. One strategy for this would be to have him compete in singles matches and win the mid-card title. The supporters would be very impressed by a strong reign as mid-card champions. Jacob Fatu may now be considered a serious world championship contender going forward. They need to put more emphasis on Jacob's development as a solo act, even if he is a former WWE Tag Team Champion with the new Bloodline. He might not reach his full potential if he is not awarded a singles championship this year. There have been few groups in professional wrestling that have captured viewers like the Bloodline. Under Roman Reigns' leadership, this Samoan dynasty has used strength, strategy, and family solidarity to conquer WWE. Fans, however, have started to wonder where the group may go from here, as tensions rise and internal issues rock the core of the Bloodline. Rumor has it that WWE might reform the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu at the helm, bringing in other up-and-coming talents from WWE rather than Solo Sikoa and the Tongan influence. Fatu is a star in Major League Wrestling, MLW. The spotlight has been on Jacob Fatu before throughout his wrestling career. Being a descendant of the illustrious Wwe family links him directly to the legacy of the Bloodline. With an imposing presence, lightning-fast reflexes, and an uncanny ability to control his weight, Fatu has carved himself an outstanding career outside of WWE. Critics and fans alike praised his tenure as MLW World Heavyweight Champion, drawing comparisons to Roman Reigns' own tyrannical rule. Fans have speculated about Fatu's possible WWE debut for quite some time. His presence would elevate the storyline and provide star power. The character of Fatu is more characterized by untamed violence, in contrast to that of Reigns, who plays a cool and collected commander. The narrative of the faction might be revitalized with Fatu at the helm of a more erratic and unexpected iteration of the Bloodline. Suggestions that Fatu may take over for Solo Sikoa as enforcer of the Bloodline are among the most contentious parts of this possible reorganization. A pivotal component in Roman Reigns' domination has been Sikoa, renowned for his unwavering will and deadly Samoan spike. His allegiance was questioned as rifts started to emerge in the Bloodline. But his affiliation with Reigns and the USOs instilled a young fury in the group. If Fatu were to take over, he would probably not play the same role as Sikoa. As an alternative to Reigns' deceptive techniques, Fatu may portray himself as a leader with a more combative ideology, rather than acting as an enforcer. This change may also indicate that the Bloodline is planning to abandon its deliberate and systematic style of domination and adopt a more chaotic and take-no-prisoner strategy. It would also be a major change in the story if the group stopped including Tongan elements. WW has long highlighted the closeness of the family bonds within the Bloodline, drawing attention to the fact that they are all Samoans. However, new plot possibilities may arise with the addition of individuals who are more in line with Fatu's style and vision. Because of this version of the Bloodline would stand out from the original and seem more like an improvement than a remake. When thinking about a reimagined Bloodline, one must ask, who would follow Jacob Fatu? Even while WW has a lot of talented people on staff, there are a few who really shine as potential fits for this new direction. For Fatu's take on the Bloodline, Bronson Reed, a man of towering stature and astonishing quickness, would be the perfect choice. His devastating in-ring approach and no-nonsense attitude are in line with Fatu's ideology of sheer power. Reed proved he can be a devastating force when given the chance with his recent comeback on WWE's main roster. His incorporation would strengthen the group's physical presence, giving them an air of invincible might. Damian Priest is another fascinating option. The Judgment Day's Priest is an exceptional member due to his magnetic presence, towering stature, and adaptability. He might easily transform into a Bloodline member under Fatu's guidance from his present status as a violent, dark, and gloomy behemoth. The group's title hopes would be bolstered by Priest's background as a previous U.S. champion and Money in the Bank holder. A betrayal and subsequent affiliation with Fatu would provide an intriguing twist to Priest's tale with the Judgment Day, which has already cast doubt on his commitment. Bringing him on board would do double duty, fortify the Bloodline, and sow discord among WWE's factions. Jacob Fatu's Bloodline would be a radical change from Roman Reigns' tribal chief period. In contrast to Reigns' tactful persuasion and coercion, Fatu's unbridled violence and unpredictable demeanor would define her authority. This change would inject the group with new energy and offer viewers something to root for in the plots involving them. A Bloodline lead by Fatu may take on a rougher, more primitive look and feel. The ceremonial demonstrations of power and ostentatious clothes would soon be a thing of the past. Alternatively, Fatu's approach might inspire a Street Fighter mindset, prioritizing violence and raw strength above strategic finesse. The present version of WW is so methodical and dominant that the idea of a wild, battle-hardened group ripping down the roster is shocking.